So we just finished our second day of hiking. We were hiking yesterday and today, which is very important for us to get out and do for exercise and the mind, to get out of the chaos of the world and just be out in nature. And I wanted to do a video before we leave because I was thinking about how important it is when Christian and I go out into nature and spend time together and we reconnect and keep the bond going. And people have no idea how important it is to do that. And I personally am getting very much sick and tired of people attacking our relationship and attacking him and then attacking me and attacking us together and not understanding what true love is really all about. And we're so misunderstood and we're so attacked just for speaking truth, just for speaking about our personal experiences, and just for loving each other.
And not causing any
You're not in the video.
not causing any injury or harm to anyone else, just
or anybody ever.
Yeah, just speaking truth, and if one gets attacked by just doing that, and we have to question ourselves and ask ourselves, how have we gone to a foundation that allows our brothers and sisters to be attacked for different perceptions or beliefs, and it has to do with the foundation of everything. As you can see, we're outside here, and we've been hiking. Well, this is this is the trees and all living things. That's a part of the Alpha and the Omega.
Why is it important for you as a male to take the day to go spend time in nature with me and the pugs and our baby, if we could
Absolutely.
be a family? Why is that important to you?
Well, it's very important because first of all, it's a true foundation of the Creator, and it's design and intuition, which means that it's the Alpha and the Omega together that has come together and united together to make life, just the same way as sperm and the egg come together, or the way that your brain fits together, the left brain, right brain. It's all the same, but in essence, the most important thing is that it's a true foundation where it's patterns with substance love, which means that the substance within life is love, and the vibrational frequencies of that is what is true and is what furthers the process of growth within and outwards.
And how do you feel when you are hiking?
It makes me feel a lot better. Anytime that we go back into cities so much, and it starts to make me not feel as good, because it's organized chaos. It's false patterns with false substance, which means that nothing is alive. Everything's alive out here. But what happens is that somewhere in history, we had decided to explain existence. We put a time on things, and we perceived patterns within this, and then we put it into an abstract form. And whenever we put it into an abstract form, it became false. And the reason why is because, well, first of all, time doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is growth. So the moment that we put time on the tree right there growing, we then separate ourselves from all of this, because then we formulated an abstract view that takes it away from growth, and then we formulate fictitious patterns from that, which then formulates a separate foundation, like cities.
So one thing that I want to bring up is that I don't understand how in today's time, when women specifically, and I'm speaking for women because I'm a woman, women specifically do not understand a true male. They just don't get it. Every time we go hiking, we see groups of women or women with children, sometimes a male with a child. It is very rare where we see a man and a woman going hiking together and spending quality time together. It is very rare that we see that, and we speak about this as we're hiking, and it makes us disappointed, because then when that does happen and it is seen, the true man and woman that are hiking together are not understood and are attacked. And he stands up for all women, and he stands up for all men. But why would they not want to stand up for him or me when we're standing up for them? Why do men not spend time with their women and truly show them quality time and love? Why do women want to be feminists and stand up against men just to prove that they are strong, when a true male, shines light on his woman and lifts her up and raises her up?
Right, for it takes the sperm and the egg to make life. It takes the alpha and the omega. It takes the left brain, the right brain, for you to perceive reality. So it takes an equality of this energy to come together and flow together. But what happens is that on a backwards foundation of cities that has become separate by explaining the patterns within nature, and we've formulated a very rational environment which is separation. That's right, because nature is the perfect equilibrium of rational and creativity.
Speak about the separation of family.
The separation of family. Well, the moment that we've separated ourselves from a true foundation of the alpha and omega, that then formulates separation within our mind. And then whenever we go on to a backwards foundation that must be that's owned and operated, whereas out here, the alpha and omega just make it exist. It's just here. Whereas in cities it must be worked, and everything's planned. There's so many titles and organizations and all these things that create separation, which then separates the family. It separates the family, and it separates the male and female. So at a ground level, and so the foundation, how one builds their family and on the correct foundation is everything.
So how did you used to be when you were younger, before you awakened to the Creator?
Well, I always knew that something was wrong. I always loved to be in nature. I always loved animals, but just like any child, I acted out. I was never violent towards others. It was more like a self-destruction, because of not necessarily understanding what was going on, because the truth is withheld. These truths about what's happening within the two different environments is vital for people to understand what's going on within themselves, and that's another thing, is that psychology today.
But you had the toys, image.
Yes, I had the vehicles. I had these things.
And then you awakened.
Yeah.
And now what?
Then I awakened to everything, and I realized that that is false value. That's doing nothing but that it glorifies the ego, and it's me. It's a selfish way of having things to serve me through excitement and pleasure me, rather than me better understanding the alpha and the omega that gives life.
And how do you feel about women?
How do I feel? I respect all women because I love Mother. I love the omega. And I know that true Father loves the Omega too. True Father knows that that is his equal.
They flow as
They
one.
flow as one. Two equal but opposite energies that flow as one. Absolutely.
How do you feel about men?
I feel that the same way with men. They're all my brothers, and that we should all respect the same, the same equality as far as the male and female energy, and that no man is over any other woman. It's to be equal.
And
I feel that a lot of men in today's time have gone the route of becoming too self-absorbed within the same things that I went into. Having all the excitement of technological toys. It's very consuming.
you had everything. You had cars, motorcycles, boats, jet skis,
Yeah,
four-wheelers,
absolutely.
and you were consumed by that. And then when you awakened and you realized, I have all of these things, but I don't have love.
I don't have the
You
alpha and the omega, and I didn't. I don't have a relationship like with you.
hmm So the reason that I am asking him these questions and the reason I'm bringing all of this up is it's very important to me, because I'm so sick and tired of people not getting that he is unbelievable true love. Not just to me, to everybody. I see it all day, every day. And I see the pain within him when he just wants to speak truth, to help people, not to hurt people, to help people. And it's not being allowed.
Well, what happens is that when we don't understand that the foundation is backwards, it creates animosity within. It creates envy. What can happen with a lot of guys is that they'll become envious of the situation, and really they shouldn't be. The reason why.
And we don't have anything to be envious of. I just want to make that clear. We're very simple people. We're not rich. We're simple. We just want to love. But what happens within internally is that when you see love in others, there's something within the person, a loss of innocence, if you will.
It's the denial system. Our denial system within the ego. We create that alter ego that a lot of people don't even understand that's there.
Yeah, and then it makes whatever is going on within you attack the love within somebody else.
So the alter ego is the fantastical mind. It's at the baseline. It was created the day that somebody tried to explain existence and nature, trying to explain the creator. They then created fictitious patterns and symbols, which then created a false god within the mind, because that's why you can have so many different languages. That's why you can have so many different religions. Well, at the baseline, it's because of someone trying to explain existence. And the act of saying that the time is now. Well, ultimately, time is only an illusion, where the time is always now. One is always to live in the now. And whenever somebody is speaking truth, and they say that the time is now, well, in essence, it doesn't matter, or it's not. Whenever that person is saying that the time is now, that's the only time.
The time is
The
always
time,
now
the time is always now.
to make change and to do the right thing.
Absolutely. And what will happen is that leadership that is envious or wants to suppress these actions because they don't understand what's going in within themselves, and that stopping this process or furthering the process of entrapment as trappers is only trapping themselves. It's only trapping your own spiritual growth and your own conscious growth.
And that's what we've noticed within our situation, is that we keep feeling like no matter which way we go, no matter what we do, no matter what we say, we keep ending up in these little traps. But they're not trapping us, because spiritually speaking, we're free. Now we feel oppressed physically because we're not being respected and we're not being listened to, when all we're trying to do is speak of the truth of what is going on in the world. And they with their trappings and their legal terms and their this and their that, they're really only enslaving themselves.
Right. So what's happened is that we've created this, and this has been done all as one, by the way, all throughout history of growth, ancestral DNA, and things like that. We're all brothers and sisters of planet Earth. So no one person is greater than the other as far as doing this. So we need to assess the situation as brothers and sisters of planet Earth to protect what is true and stop the destruction. All wars derive because of the alter ego and not understanding that process and allowing that alter ego to selfishly drive us and to separate us from the Creator.
So I also really quickly, before we end this, want to speak of how absolutely destructive to the world separation is. And it starts with the family. When you start separating families, you separate everything, and there is no more love. Where's the love in separating families? We're separating children from families on the most ridiculous of excuses, making up excuses just to separate them. And then their next plan after separating the children from families is separating the bond of male and female. Whatever happened to whatever God puts together, let no man separate. It's absolute truth, because you're not supposed to separate what God has put together. And if true love comes together and there is no harm, there is no injury, and the two people love each other, why are you trying to separate them?
Well,
Think about that. Why are you trying to do that? Why do you separate true love?
yeah.
Who separates true love? Does true love separate true love?
No, it's the backwards foundation that has false substance and false patterns that does that. It's the dark energy that is the opposite of all of this out here, and this is the true foundation. This foundation out here in all living things it was here before us, and it will continue to be here after us, or if we decide to realize what we're doing as brothers and sisters and realize that we can't just force upon people or stealing their children and all this war and chaos because of all the separation from the Alpha and Omega. This is their design out here. The organized chaos of cities is man's design of selfishly becoming separate from all of this.
And men and women have to start standing up together, not against each other. Women need to start standing up for a true male. Men have to start standing up for a true male and female. And everybody's got to become true, meaning stop lying to yourself and get back to a more of a true foundation and start realizing what's going on in the world and the chaos and everything that we're bringing upon ourselves, and start making changes in the very small places you can make changes in. And I don't really know what else to say about that, but
Well, we gotta also realize that entrapment, a backwards foundation that traps people, is not of the Creator.
that's not love.
Yeah, that's not love. That's
Separation
fear
is never
induced.
love.
Separation is fear. It's a fear-induced tactic of mind control, and we need to understand this process and transition into a better way of being, because ultimately to stop this process is to only destroy the love of God. It is for everybody to grow within consciousness and realize these things. No one person is greater than the other. We all have the talents within to achieve these things together. But there must be some type of process, because right now government is very one-sided. It's very rational. It's very systematic, and to where it's not respecting people that just want to be in a more free environment, because everything is owned and operated. And this perception of that being free is not can't be. because of the backwards foundation has become so overgrown, and that's the vacuum effect of it. But actually, it can be. We can have two forms of government where they're into one. Just like you have a left brain and a right brain. Right now, I know that they have Congress with two left sides and right side, but you know what? It's within the backwards foundation, so it's not really proper. There needs to be a process of an elder system that used to be here, and that's what it was meant to be. It was meant to be a guiding system to guide people in conscious growth. There are no traps out here. Nothing out here is a trap. Yes, you can trip and fall over on a stick if you're running too fast, or things like that. Yes, there are animals out here and certain things like that, but there's no fictitious traps that are just trying to trap you up and enslave you within stressful situations. Um, so so yeah, we need to come together and better understand this process and stop fighting so much.
And stop
Um,
trying to separate true love. When you see true love, embrace it. And try and strive to be it. Try every single day to try and be true love every single day. No separation, do no harm, love. When you see it, think about why you're attacking it. Why are you attacking true love? Why are you attacking families? Just because of a difference in beliefs. Why? Think about why you're doing that.
and why do the statutes and policies that give this false authority? Because the real authority is out here under the Creator. As long as you're not doing any harm or injury to someone, why is it that some fictitious statutes and policies on it that were created on a backwards foundation? Why is that okay? Why is that okay to look past the root of the problem there, and say um, that foundation is greater than what was here first? You know, and so yeah, I think
That's
that's good.
that's all.
Okay, alrighty.